the $100 MBA Show, the business podcast that knows that time is money. And that's why each business lesson is about 10 minutes every single day with our daily 10-minute business lessons for the real world. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. And today's episode is a very special guest teacher episode with my good friend and highly successful podcaster and entrepreneur, John Lee Dumas, the founder and host of Entrepreneur on Fire. John is also the founder and the author of the Freedom Journal, which just got released. In the Freedom Journal, he shows you how you can accomplish your goals in 100 days. So as today's guest lesson, we thought it would be a great idea for him to teach you a great lesson on goals. Specifically, how to set SMART goals. And SMART is an acronym he'll explain in his lesson. There's so much John is going to be covering in today's lesson to make sure that you achieve your goals. And it's so timely because we're at the start of the year right now. And a lot of people set goals for the year. And he's going to make sure you have a game plan to make sure you actually accomplish these goals. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get down to business. Today's episode of the $100 MBA Show is brought to you by Heroic Public Speaking, the live public speaking training event of the year. At Heroic Public Speaking, they guarantee 100% you'll become a better public speaker. Whether that means pitching to investors, being better on video, on a podcast, being interviewed by somebody, on a webinar, it all matters. Grab your ticket at a massively discounted price over at 100mba.net/speaking. Again, that's 100mba.net/speaking. Guys, over the course of the last few years, I've gotten the chance to get to know some really successful entrepreneurs. One, of course, being John Lee Dumas, today's guest teacher. John and his partner Kate have become good friends of Nicole and I. We're actually somewhat neighbors in San Diego. But when I meet a successful entrepreneur, I try to find out, I try to dissect, why are they successful? Obviously, many things contribute, but usually there's one trait about a person that really propel them into success. And for John, it's definitely having his eye on the prize, having a goal in mind, and actually executing. And it's the executing that he's really good at. That's why I was so pumped to hear that he released a book called The Freedom Journal, which shows you how to execute on your goals. I have myself a copy. I use it. It's really simple to use. It doesn't take too much time every day to kind of jot down where you are with your goals, and it keeps you on track. And John's been able to have that success in his business, in his podcast. I mean, heck, he's the first daily podcast out there. And he was able to accomplish that and break that ceiling because he knew how to implement the goals he had in mind. And he didn't just say, I want to do this, and didn't have a game plan. So in today's lesson, John's going to teach you how to set SMART goals. And SMART is an acronym, and he's going to explain what each letter stands for. But by setting SMART goals, it allows you to get real about your goals and start talking about action instead of just, I'd like to do that. It gives you a framework to make sure you're getting real about the things you want and you have steps in place to move towards it. I'm going to let your guest teacher, John Lee Dumas, take over now. So take it away, John.
Hey, what's going on, my friends? JLD here, John Lee Dumas, the founder and host of EO Fire, a top-ranked business podcast where I interview today's most inspiring and successful entrepreneurs 7 days a week. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have an incredibly powerful topic that I'm going to be sharing with you, and it's all about the power of goals, specifically the setting and accomplishing of SMART goals. My friends, I have interviewed now over 1,200 successful and inspiring entrepreneurs, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, the one commonality that every single one of my guests have is they have the ability to set and accomplish goals. And every single day I get emails from Fire Nation, my amazing listeners, and they share with me what they're struggling with. And time again is that they don't have the ability to set and accomplish goals. They don't understand what it takes to actually set a SMART goal and accomplish that goal in a specific amount of time. So that's really what I want to share with you today. Let's get down to business. All right, my friends, setting and accomplishing goals will not happen if you don't approach it in the right way. I'm going to walk you through a very simple but powerful process called SMART goals. Now, that's an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. When you are setting a goal, if you're going to set it correctly, it needs to be specific. And I'm going to be taking you on a journey in a couple minutes here about a specific goal that I set that was a SMART goal and how I accomplished that goal. Now, the M is measurable. The goal has to be measurable, my friends. There has to be some form of measure. Otherwise, how do you know the actual goal that you are setting is being accomplished? A is attainable. My friends, I know we all want to walk on the moon, but that's not attainable in the next 6 months. So the goal that you set has to be attainable. So critical. I'm going to go through that in a couple minutes as well. Relevance. This is a key part. A lot of people set goals, and these goals don't even matter to their overall vision, to their overall business plan, to their overall life plan. So we need to make sure that these goals are relevant. And then time bound. My friends, we all live by Parkinson's law. Tasks will expand to the time that is allotted. If you do not bind yourself with a time, you will not accomplish that goal in any kind of a timely manner. So let's go through a specific SMART goal that I set and accomplished using this very formula. We're going to talk about the launch of EO Fire. So specific. I wanted to launch a 7-day-a-week podcast where I was interviewing today's most successful and inspiring entrepreneurs. That was my goal. That was my focus. That's what I was driving towards. It was very specific. Now, measurable. I knew that I had to crank out 30 episodes every single month, and some months 31. And that was going to be my measuring stick. Was I cranking out 30 or 31 episodes every single month? That was what I was using to measure. Now, attainable. I honestly didn't know if this was going to be attainable. So I invested in myself. I hired a mentor, Jamie Tardy, the eventual millionaire. I joined Cliff Ravenscraft's The Podcast Answer Man, his podcast mastermind. I spent a year in there, and I talked to him and I told them what I was planning, what I wanted to do. And they said, John, it will be very difficult, but yes, it is attainable. So I checked that block. Now, relevance. Is this a relevant goal? Well, I wanted to be a podcaster. I wanted to interview entrepreneurs. So this was a very relevant goal for me, for my business plans, for my vision of the future. Time bound. This is where I put in a time bound scenario. I gave myself 6 months to reach 100,000 listeners per month. Now, I'll tell you, that was a very lofty goal, but it was time bound. It was specific, 100,000 listeners per month within 6 months. And guess what? I got there because, again, Parkinson's law. Tasks will expand to the time that you allot them. If I gave myself a year, it probably would have taken me a year to get to those 100,000 listeners, but I did what had to be done to actually accomplish that goal in that 6-month period. So guys, that is just me breaking down an example of a time that I used a SMART goal. And, to kind of do a lesson recap right here, you need to make sure that as an entrepreneur, you're not just setting goals, you're setting SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. I hope that the example that I just shared with EO Fire was helpful for you. And I can tell you, because I've now interviewed over 1,200 entrepreneurs, and I have found that the one commonality that they all have that really plays a huge role in them being successful is their ability to set and accomplish goals. That is why I spent all of 2015 working on my passion project, The Freedom Journal. Set and accomplish your number one goal in 100 days. My friends, this is a beautiful leather-bound journal, gold embossed, where I teach you at the beginning of this journal how to set a SMART goal. I walk you through this process. I give you some great examples, and you do it within the first few pages of this journal. And then I guide you in the accomplishment of this goal over the next 100 days. It is step by step by step. There are 10 micro goals. I call them sprints along the way every 10 days. We have 25-day quarterly reviews where we look back over what you've done and how you can improve going forward, removing any obstacles that may have cropped up along the way. And my friends, this is a campaign that we have launched on Kickstarter that is live right now. If you visit thefreedomjournal.com, you'll be taken to the Kickstarter page. I would love for you to check out this campaign to see if it makes sense for you to jump in and grab a Freedom Journal and support us. And by jumping in and doing this, you're not just supporting us, EO Fire. We have partnered with Pencils of Promise, my friends. And every time we hit a funding goal, I am donating $25,000 to build a school in a developing country. I cannot wait to see the amount of Fire Nation schools that we are going to be building together. So it's a win-win, my friends. You're going to get a beautiful leather-bound journal in your hand that's going to guide you in the setting and accomplishing of your number one goal in 100 days. And you're going to be a part of building schools in developing countries. It is such an amazing project we have going on, and I would really love for you to be a part of it. So visit thefreedomjournal.com, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
Today's episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by Taxify. Taxify is effortless sales tax software for small and mid-sized businesses. If you're like most people, sales tax is the last thing you want to think about, but it's also one of the biggest risks for many businesses. You see, Taxify provides everything you need to keep your business safe while making sure you're not paying out of pocket for sales tax. Taxify calculates the right amount of tax in all 10,000 plus jurisdictions, and it files all those time-consuming tax returns for you in just minutes. And Taxify integrates seamlessly with systems you already have and use. Systems like Shopify, Magento, Amazon, Xero, Square, Stripe, and more. Best of all, as a $100 MBA listener, you can try out Taxify for free today. Like right now, just hop on over to taxify.co/100MBA. Again, that's taxify.co/100MBA for 1 month for free. That's a special offer just for $100 MBA listeners. And don't worry, no credit card is required. You'll be on your way to getting sales tax out of the way in just minutes. Again, that's taxify.co/100MBA for a 1 month free trial. As you could tell, John has been on the mic for a very long time, over 1,200 episodes. So he knows what he's doing. He knows how to teach. He knows how to deliver his message properly. That was my first takeaway from his lesson. The second takeaway is that what he's describing, how to set these types of goals, these SMART goals, it kind of redefines what a goal is. A lot of people, we think goals are more like hopes or dreams. It makes you question how you actually state your goal. Like, I want to lose 10 pounds. That's not a SMART goal. You got to run it through that filter. And I love it because he emphasizes the fact that through SMART goals, you become an action taker. You walk the walk, you don't just talk the talk. So if you want to get serious about setting and accomplishing your goals, then pick up the Freedom Journal. It's a great investment. We're going to put a link to the book in today's show notes. You can just click on the cover art if you're on your iPhone to see those notes, or you can head on over to 100mba.net/MBA492. Or head on over to 100mba.net/freedom. And you know what? John's a good friend. I love what he's doing with the Freedom Journal, and I want to help you take action right now. So if you pick up the Freedom Journal this week before the end of the day, Sunday the 10th of January 2016, forward your receipt to support@businessrepublic.net, and we'll hook you up with a free lifetime membership to the $100 MBA Training and Community. That's like a free $100 right there. Over 180 video lessons, workbooks, our private community in Facebook. That's a gift from me to you so you could take action and start setting SMART goals with John and the Freedom Journal. All right, guys, that wraps up today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you loved it. I sure did. I think John did an amazing job. We got some amazing lessons coming up this week. We also have some great guest teachers coming up in the future. We got Pat Flynn from Smart Passive Income. We got Kate Erickson from Entrepreneur on Fire teaching a lesson. We got Chris Ducker from chrisducker.com, Tim Page from Lead Pages, and Brandon Turner from biggerpockets.com. We keep pumping goodness to you guys so you can keep rocking it in your business. All right, guys, I want to leave you with this. If you're feeling motivated, if you feel like, yes, this is the stuff I've been looking for, this is the kind of energy you've been looking for at the start of the year, that's great. Take that motivation, take advantage of that, and use it into taking action. I always say that momentum is so powerful. So if you're feeling motivated right now, use that motivation to take action and do something to start accomplishing your goals. Got a business name idea that you had? Register the domain name. You've been looking to get in shape? Go for a run right now. Don't wait. Strike the iron while it's hot. All right, guys, I'll check you in tomorrow's episode. I'll see you then. Take care.